not going to lie, yesterday sucked ass. And I want to start things off on the right note this week and gauge the flock. So if you still support this Ravens team, you believe in this team going forward, go ahead and spam R in that comment section for your Baltimore Ravens, and we'll get started with this Overreaction Monday edition of Ravens Rundown. Let's start off with the first overreaction that we've seen on the internet over the last 24 hours. Lamar Jackson isn't a clutch quarterback. That I would call an overreaction, folks. Going over the statistics yesterday. Lamar Jackson, 22 of 38, 236 yards, had an interception, 45 rushing yards. It was not Lamar Jackson's best game, and in particular, you point to what happened down the stretch of why people might be saying he's not necessarily a clutch quarterback. Let's remind you of those things that went on. You remember the goal line interception, up 10-8, right? Bad timing on that part for Lamar to turn that over, to have that interception there. Then he fumbled on that next possession, which in total turned into 2 turnovers in the fourth quarter from Lamar Jackson there. Not great, not ideal on that front. The defense played good enough to win this game, but the offense lost this game. It was very evident there. Now, I'll say this. Lamar Jackson still has my trust and my confidence. I'm not going to let one game change that. Lamar can get the job done. And the data says that the fourth quarter is still a time for Lamar Jackson to shine. 74.6 career passer rating in the in the fourth quarter, 25 passing touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and 7 rushing touchdowns in his entire career in the fourth quarter. Lamar can get it done in crunch time when it matters. I'm not worried about one game and let that define him. Lamar has done this time and time again. He's going to be fine as far as I'm concerned. Today's show is brought to you by one of our newest partners here at Chat Sports, PrizePicks. Here's what you need to do. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS for daily fantasy sports in the best and easiest way that we know how to do it here at Chat Sports. All you got to do is you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the promo code CLNS, and you will get a $100 deposit match. And you pick the players that stand out to you. You're looking for, real simple, more or less. They'll put like a yardage number, for example, and you got to predict if the player is going to have more or less than the amount that they are projecting. Like last week, for example, I made some money by putting down my wager on Geno Smith and Daniel Jones, going with more yardage for Geno and less for Daniel Jones. Paid off pretty well for me. Turned $20 into $60. You can do that as well at prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS for more. Check them out. Tell them that Tyler Jones, Chat Sports sent you. You'll be glad you did. Next on Overreaction Monday, OBJ, a waste of money. Not an overreaction. Now, I'm not necessarily saying I'm agreeing with this, but it's not an overreaction if you feel like it was a mistake for the Ravens to pay all that cash to OBJ at this point in time. Yesterday, OBJ had an injury, left the game, came back, and his production was just 2 catches, 37 yards, 18.5 yards a reception. OBJ was not that great. And the receiving corps as a whole wasn't that great. What was it, 6 drops total? I mean, it was not a good day from the receiving corps. And what we've seen from OBJ, the sample size so far to this point in the season, he hasn't been able to stay on the field, and his production has been slim. Not saying OBJ can't turn it around, but he has work to do if he wants to prove that he was worth the money that he was paid. Simple as that. OBJ has not, at this point anyway, lived up to the expectations of what the Ravens are paying him for. So, what do you guys think? Was signing Odell Beckham a mistake? If you think it was, type OBJ for yes. If you think it wasn't a mistake, type no BJ for no. OBJ for yes, no BJ for no. Let us know in the comments section. The Ravens will learn from their mistakes. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one, Jim. You would like to think so in theory that they're going to learn from their mistakes. But I've seen this song and dance before from John Harbaugh coach teams in the past. So count me skeptical on that they'll learn from these mistakes here. Here's what Lamar said about the offensive miscues. We don't expect our guys to drop passes. It happens in NFL football. It just happened at the wrong time. But we're going to get better. We're going to practice. We're going to do work. I have no reason to think that things are just going to magically disappear and that things are going to get better overnight. I would like to think that was the case, but I don't live in fantasy land, okay? I need to see more from this team consistently. I am of the belief that it's not, seeing is, or actually stops it. Seeing is believing, not believing is seeing, right? Is that how it goes? Here's the numbers. What we talk about of just the miscues and what there is to clean up. Yesterday, 6 drop passes, 3 turnovers, 2 fumbles lost, 1 interception, 0 for 2 on 4th downs. That ain't good enough. That ain't going to fly, friends. There's a ways to go with this group. Collectively speaking, come on now. Figure it out. Subscribe now for more Ravens coverage. We're with you each and every day here on the channel. Had a great time on our watch party yesterday. We're going to do more watch parties throughout the season as well, including this weekend when your Ravens take on the Tennessee Titans. For more Ravens news, rumors, fan-led live shows, watch parties, mailbags, and more, subscribe now for free right here on Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. Another overreaction that's been thrown out there. John Harbaugh on the hot seat? Not so fast on that one. At least not yet, anyway, when it comes to John Harbaugh. That is a bit of an overreaction here. The folks over at Ebony Bird, the SB Nation site that covers the Ravens, had to say this. It might be soon to call this season a disaster, but mostly because of simple errors and misjudgments. The Ravens are 3-2 instead of 5-0 and 2-1 in the AFC North and in second place behind the Steelers instead of 3-0 and looking like a lock for the postseason. Is a change needed or, even more interestingly, coming? Only time will tell. Now, we can potentially have that discussion down the road about John Harbaugh's future and all of that. But to me, it's still way too early at this point when the season is still in front of this Baltimore Ravens team. Even with the loss, they're still tied for the division lead here, okay? This was not the end-all, be-all. We're not burning the house down because of one loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. The divisional loss, not a bad loss. Steelers are still a decent football team as far as I'm concerned. Things can be okay. They can work through this. There's still work to be done. But to get to the point of firing John Harbaugh, maybe we have the discussion later on in the year. But at this point, way too early to be talking about firing Harbaugh right now. Should John Harbaugh be on the hot seat, though? What do you guys think? Why for yes and for no? Give me your take. Should he be on the hot seat or not? Last and overreaction Monday that we'll get to. The secondary, overrated. That, my friends, not an overreaction. If you have some concerns about this secondary, they are certainly warranted. Look, Marlon Humphrey doesn't look up to snuff yet. Coming back from injury and everything, he's still a work in progress. Marcus Williams doesn't look 100% yet either. Now, those guys, it could come with time. And then where the hell was Geno Stone? Geno Stone had played well filling in for Marcus Williams when he was injured and was nowhere to be seen. You might as well put him on a milk carton because he was missing. Just nowhere around. Look at what they did to the Steelers receiving corps. And all that was made about the Steelers and how awful that offense was. They were just about to fire their OC, Matt Canada, with a loss. And you gave up 130 yards to George Pickens here. That's unacceptable. That can't fly with me to let that happen. Got to do a better job in that secondary. Hopefully with time, these guys get healthier and take steps in the right direction. But I am concerned, to say the least. Subscribe now for more Ravens coverage right here on Ravens Rundown. We'll see you next time right here on the channel.